All right, guys. So I think I'm gonna start off this mule deer hunting stories with the first buck I ever killed, and that was when I was 12 years old. Here in Idaho, that's when you can start hunting big game. And my dad had taken me on quite a few elk hunts before that. I was used to the mountains and just hunting in general, but when you're that age, you just kind of are floating. You're just enjoying life, just taking it all in. You're not really sure exactly what you're going to do or where you're headed. And that's kind of how I was. I didn't know if I was going to be a football player or a scientist or an astronaut or anything like that. But I was really grateful for my dad. He kind of pushed the hunting. Because I think he knew I could tell that I enjoyed it, and I'm glad that he placed that opportunity in front of me. And the way this story kind of starts out, from what I remember, it was just a typical opening day of the general season here in Idaho, October 10th, and down here where we live. There's kind of a valley with some big mountains, and then on the lower end of the valley there's a big desert, a high country desert that's kind of opens up into that. And there's quite a few bucks, just deer in general, that move through that desert and live out there. There's some ag fields, and a lot of bucks go in and out of that. And we were with one of my dad's friends. I don't remember what his name was, but it was a typical 5 o'clock in the morning, getting up. We drove down just to the local gas station and got some breakfast, and then I had my old trusty, I think it was the 243. I'm 99% positive. I gotta check with Dad on that, but it was the 243, and I actually own that gun now. I bought that from my dad, and it was because I remember it was loaded with these blue bullets. I don't know why that impacted me so much, but it was loaded with these, like, it had, I don't know, whatever they were, but that was a big deal. It was like, I'm shooting blue bullets and I'm 12, but anyways, we're out there on the desert. We get out across from where these bucks were going in and out of this ag field on this public ground. And I was just kind of tagging along, I think. And Dad was kind of putting that opportunity in front of me, but I don't think I was like first in line to shoot. And because I think there were some bigger bucks, and Dad and his friend were kind of going after those, but I'm not for sure on that. But anyways, we get out there, drive out and kind of go out on this little vantage point, and the sun's just starting to come up, and it's fairly cold but not bad. And I don't really remember a lot of details about that hunt, other than all of a sudden those bucks were right there, like right in front of us. And I'm sure that Dad and his buddy were very aware of where they were at, and set up an ambush point and all that. But I was just kind of floating around, trying to keep the barrel safe and packing the 243 around, which was just super cool for me. And I remember it just happened super quick. These bucks were cutting across that desert sagebrush to go out to their bedding area. And I remember Dad kind of like just guiding me and instructing me kind of how to set up. And I remember there was 3 or 4 bucks, and I didn't really care at that point. I just wanted to just kill a deer. I'd never killed anything. And I got down and looked through that 243 scope, and I remember there was a few bigger bucks in the front, and I don't know why, but I just ended up like going to the last deer, which ended up being like this tiny, little 2-point. And Dad had, made sure that I was aware of vital areas and where to shoot for and all of these things. And I had practiced a lot with that 243, so I just went down and got set up, and he was it just happened, and I squeezed the trigger off, and boom. And I remember that little bugger just hitting the dirt, and what a crazy feeling. That was the first time I had ever felt just a pure joy of hunting. I had been on a lot of hunts, but I wasn't quite hooked on it, because I think I had never carried the tag. And once that deer, I walked over to it and put my hands on it and just enjoyed that moment. It was super special for me, and I think that's what gave me the bug. And it's just a little 2-point, but what a special experience that was. And I'm grateful for my dad to make that happen. And I know he's a big time hunter, and he probably was wanting to be out looking for bigger bucks and maybe up on the mountain, but he took the time to take me out there, and that was really special. So that was my first buck.